All right, hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to the channel. I've got my wife's 2020 Gladiator in here, and we've had an issue with the auxiliary battery being dead already. This Jeep's 3 years old, maybe a little bit less than. So I've saw several videos on deleting this battery, pulling your cables through and hooking the positive up to the positive on the main battery and just taping off the negative on the auxiliary battery. So I'm gonna try that. Unfortunately, I've already started taking everything apart when I thought about doing this video. So to show you guys that I was having the issue with the auto start stop being light being on the dash, I unfortunately cannot do that unless I put the battery back in, hook everything up, and make sure it's still doing that. We'll try that. But just to show you what I got going on here, you can see I got the battery laying there on the floor. That's the main battery. I've got the bottom, and before everybody busts my balls about having battery on the concrete, I just laid it there. It's been there about 5 minutes. There's the auxiliary battery. It is out. There's the cover. I'll show you where this goes. This primarily lives below your fuse box right here. Then right here's your main battery. The videos that I did see, they did put in a bigger main battery. So we're gonna try this with just using the factory battery because we haven't had any issues with that yet, and see what happens before I go to the extent of buying a bigger battery and seeing if it, if this takes care of it, then yeah, I'll go through and get the bigger battery. But here is one of this is the positive from your auxiliary, and right here is the negative from your auxiliary. They come through this hole right here, just below the fuse box. And I'll roll underneath there and show you where this battery lives at underneath this passenger side fender well. So you can see right there is 3 10mm bolts that goes up and through there. That's where the bottom of that goes. You can see the one right there, and then there's also one right there. You don't have to take out your fuse box to be able to replace this. What I've done is I've peeled back my inner fender, or you can just take this out completely if you wish. Turn your tire all the way so you're making a turn to the left. And pull your fender well out, or your inner fender liner out, and this is easily accessible and easily done just right there if you so choose. And then there's 10mm nuts that are on studs on your auxiliary battery. Just use a ratchet wrench and those pull right off. If you guys want to replace this battery, you will have to reuse these studs. And this battery is easily replaced without having to take that fuse box out like the dealer calls for. So you can do it just here like this. Be pretty easy. Probably in 20 minutes to a half hour, you will be able to swap this auxiliary battery out if you want to continue to run it. But we're going to try this method and see what happens. If you guys want to know what the info is on this auxiliary battery, right there is. You can pause your screen, and that'll tell you what to go and purchase before you tear yours apart to see what it needs. Or I'm sure you could probably Google it and see what the battery is. We're going to set the battery back in there, hook the main leads back up, go inside the truck and see if that light comes on, and then we'll come back out. We'll hook up the positive side of the auxiliary battery to the main battery and see if that takes care of it. All right, just went ahead and set the battery in place. Here's my auxiliary battery terminals. We'll pull the positive over here, put it in place. Take the negative, do the same. Tighten everything up. All right. Positive's tight, negative's tight. Here's my auxiliaries right here. Let's go over to the truck, inside the truck, and see if we get a auxiliary light on the dash. You can see we do have that auxiliary light, so we're gonna go back out there and you see the start stops unavailable, service start stop system. So we're gonna go back out there, we're gonna hook the positive up to the positive side and see what happens. Before I do that, one of the things that I found funny is taping off the negative terminal and not using it. And also, all the videos that I've saw on this auxiliary battery being dead, their vehicles wouldn't start at all. Mine's been dead for a while, on the tune of probably a month and a half, 2 months. And I have not had any issues at all with the vehicle not starting. So I found it kind of funny per se that everybody else that I saw, all the other videos that I saw, that their vehicles wouldn't start because that start stop battery was dead. So I don't know if there's another issue with mine or if it is just something different. I have no idea. So we're going to go ahead and hook up. There's a couple of different posts on your terminals that you can hook those terminals up to. And I probably will go ahead and pull the negative. We'll try it just like they said. Sorry. We'll try it just like they said. We'll just leave the negative off and go from there and see what happens. So let's go ahead and get this positive terminal hooked up to the positive side of the main battery. All right, so you got a small post right there. I went ahead and pulled that nut off. I'm going to turn this upside down like that and see if we can't make this work. If so, we're going to go ahead and do some modification to this terminal right here. Maybe cut that off, drill a hole in it right there, then put it on there the best that we can. So right now we're just trying to see if this is actually going to work. All right, a little bit of change of plans just because of the way this terminal is shaped right here. I hooked it up to the tightening nut of the terminal itself. It just couldn't get it. If it works, we will reshape this and put it on the back side right here. So we have it right there. Just to ensure and show you guys that we do have power there, I've got a ground hooked up to the chassis, and we'll touch it right there. And you can see we are lit. So let's go back over here inside the truck and see what happens when we start everything back up. So you can see, I just changed the oil, so that's not an issue. You can see we still have that auto start stop light on. So let's go over there and hook a ground up and see what happens there. One of these grounds, we'll use one of these grounds over here because it won't reach to the negative terminal of the battery. So we'll undo one of these grounds somehow. Or if that hole was big enough right there, we could go, this ground right here is not even being used. So I don't know if I can get that to stay on there and see if that takes care of it or not. So we got ground touching and we still have a light, but that's not saying we have a good ground. So I don't know if this actually works. One of the videos that I did watch talked about removing a fuse. I don't remember what fuse it was, but I watched another video where you didn't have to remove a fuse at all, and this was supposed to take care of it. So right now, I believe this is busted, as they say on Mythbusters, and this is not working the way that it was supposed to. There is, if you guys have a taser, you do have the ability to be able to shut that start stop off. Yeah, so let me work and see if I can get a good ground hooked back up, or good ground hooked up, and we'll kind of go from there. I wish I could get it that routed so it was hooked up to the ground on the battery. But, I mean, chassis ground, battery ground, it should not make a difference. All right, just out of curiosity, I did bring my battery over to my bench. I put it on my tester, and you can see that we're at 12% health. We got 70 crank amps, or cold crank amps. This is a 200 crank amp battery. We are at 12 volts, but we're only 12% health, 15% charge, and it is saying replace on the screen there. So I don't know what to say about this. I guess I could find out what fuse that is and go ahead and pull that fuse out of the fuse box, but that kind of defeats the purpose of being able to move your terminals to your main battery and do away with that auxiliary battery. I understand the process of it, but I don't understand why it's not working unless it's measuring the cold crank amps of that battery and realizing it's too big compared to the battery that's supposed to be in there. I don't know. It's kind of strange to me why it won't work, but I'm not understanding why it won't work. We're still getting the light on the dash, even after going through and making sure I have a good ground. I did hook up my test light, and I can do that again and show you. I have a good ground going through everything, and it's just not working for me. So I don't know. So I guess I'll have to continue to research this, or just go buy a new auxiliary battery. People are saying these are pretty expensive. I've never actually priced them, but we'll see what gives. So in the meantime, I will keep you guys updated. Probably, I don't know if I'll do it on here, but you guys check me out on TikTok. Everything's the same name, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. All my social media is the same. Links are in the description for all my social media through Linktree, and then also you guys can go to Instagram. I have Linktree on there as well. So all right, so I just got into the Jeep. We're going to rescind what we said. I just got into the Jeep. I did not pull the fuse out, and we do not have a light anymore on the dash. So I don't know what happened. The only thing I did was I did unhook it and left it sit there, put everything away, put the hood down. And what everybody is saying is true. If your battery is completely drained, you will not be able to start your Jeep. But mine, since mine still had 12 volts, but minimal battery life, it was still allowing me to start my Jeep. So without that hooked up, I did not have any power at all. I opened my hood back up, hooked that back up to the positive lead on my main battery, and lo and behold, we do not have a light on the dash. So I have to eat my words and say it did work. So thankfully enough, this does take care of the issue. I did not hook the negative up. I just have it laying up there in the engine compartment right now. I will tape it up. I did not put the box back on the bottom side. Most of the videos that I did see, they're taping up that negative terminal, leaving it inside the box, and putting that back up on there. I did not do any of that. I just have the positive to the positive and the negative laying there. So thankfully enough, this did take care of it. I don't know what that's going to do as far as warranty issues. So that's something you guys are going to want to think about before you go start doing this. If it does affect your factory warranty, it's not something you're going to want to do. You are going to want to replace that battery. So I do have an extended warranty on this Jeep. The dealership that I take my Jeep to, they're pretty laxed. They know I do a lot of modifications. My warranty does cover my lift. It does cover everything else. It covers my LED headlights that I put in. Because this truck come with halogens from the factory. I swapped out and had the LED, or I put the LEDs in. And my Jeep dealer is pretty cool. They have done several sales code additions for me. They take it, I plug it in, or they take it, they plug it into the scanner. I had all the LED lights turned on, and I did have the proximity locks, or the push button on your handles. I added those myself with a kit that I purchased online from All Mopar Parts. It's handles and wiring harnesses, and I do have proximity locks on the driver and passenger side now. just before you spend that kind of money, make sure that the sales code is there and you can turn it on. So like I said, my dealership is pretty cool. They know that I do a lot of stuff, YouTube and my trucks and her trucks. So they work with me pretty good. So like I said, this does work. No auxiliary light on the dash and everything is cool. So yeah, very good. I guess with that being said, if you don't mind, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not already done so, and we'll see you guys in the next one.